But yeah, I'm thinking Rolly beat. It's going to be either him or Patricia, but I'm favoring this guy. Because, you know, he would have to do the entire thing. It's his responsibility according to the manual. It's his responsibility to fully investigate this crime. Instead, he just played a supporting role and got to clock off early, so that then he can go and finish his anniversary with his wife. And it couldn't have been her, because she was sent immediately by him to go and get the police officer and bring back. So if we believe that actually happened, and why she was taking a little longer... yeah, I don't know. Plus, see, the thing is, she could say she took a little longer and she got lost, when really she went round the corner and came back after he nodded off, and then moved the body, and then went away to get a copper and come back again. But why would she have then left her rose? She would have known that it would have been on that side of the street. She wouldn't be confused about that, and the rose wouldn't have been there at all. So it's got to be Rolly.
Take that!
In the edge of our first due, just drag the body to the other side of the road and tell dispatch they messed up. She didn't read the rules for the cop. Yeah, maybe she doesn't know the exact rules as well, you know, so she wouldn't really think to tamper with the scene just for an easy evening. Obviously, there's only one person that could have done it. Constable Rolly Beat, it was you. What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard? What nonsense! Why would Rolly do something like that? There's no one straighter than my husband. No Bobby works more tirelessly for the people of London. Mrs. Beat, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box and fetch an officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone had to tamper with it. You're making it up. It's all nonsense. It's all lies. What about that Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him. He did it. If that was true, Constable Beat would have seen him do it. Oh. And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, it was after the defendant had fled the scene. Ah, well, yes.
Objection!
First you make accusations about the landlord and his wife, now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations lack one very important thing. You claim the crime scene was tampered with. But there's only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime, is to hide something. That's right, he's right. But my husband and I just happened to be there, that's all. So why would we have anything to hide? It doesn't make any sense. You've offered no motive for this alleged tampering, and until you do, your accusations are nothing but empty threats. Constable Beat had a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the scene of the crime. That's the key to this entire affair. Mr. Naruhodo, have you managed to solve the mystery? I think we used the police manual for this, with the rules. Counsel, you've made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need to not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that start warning in mind, you will now explain to the court why you blah blah blah. I caught the button, sorry. Hope you guys are faster readers than me. Yes, my lord. Come on, Ryu. Constable Beat's motive for tampering with the crime scene was to hide... Oh, where is this? Where the book fell, where the bouquet fell, or where the victim fell. Technically, I guess, he might not have even known that the book fell from a window, because the street wasn't lit. I'm still going with that idea. That side of the street isn't lit in that area, so they wouldn't have seen the book fall. They wouldn't have seen the knife fall. So... And then when they got there, she would have still been holding the book. He just put the book back in her hand after he moved her. So it's where the victim fell. He didn't want people to know it was on his beat. It's where the victim fell to the ground. That's what the Bobby had to cover up at all costs. What? Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road. I saw it happen, remember? It was right here, As if anyone didn't already know. That's certainly what everyone has been led to believe, but in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all. What? What? Nani? I'm beginning to wonder where this tumultuous trial will end, Counsel. If that's your assertion, then the court is dying to know, my Nipponese friend. Where are you proposing that the crime actually took place that evening? I'm proposing it took place here instead.
Take that!
But that's on the opposite side of the road? I don't understand. On the evening in question, Mr. Garrideb's book fell directly down from the open window above, and your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime itself. Good gracious.
Objection!
Perhaps you haven't even been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place. That's right, I saw it with my own eyes. Yeah, and your sense of direction is for shit, so I'm not trusting that. It was 5 o'clock in the evening, it was already dark, and there was a typical London fog on the ground when you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid. That was actually on the west side of Briar Road. No, that's not true. It can't have been. Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent while sending you for help. During the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the scene of the crime. He moved all the things shown in this print, the victim herself and the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road. Extraordinary. But then the constable overlooked one thing. What? What did he overlook? The bouquet, I presume. Exactly. The prosecution told the court just 15 minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Van Zyke said it wasn't noticed until the morning as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. Yes, it couldn't be seen in the dark, obviously, which is why it was only the bouquet that was found in its original position on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road. And that is the defence's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond, Constable Rollybeat? Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important? Oh, Rolly. Is it true, is it? What the lawyer said? It's all lies, isn't it? I know it is because you're the most upstanding righteous man I know. And bonk. I had a dream, a terrible dream. All the things I did that night, everything come out, everything exposed. Oh boy. Only it seems it wasn't a dream at all. Good golly. Good golly, Miss Molly. Dapus, hello. How is Dapus today? Order, order, order. What on earth is the meaning of all this? Oh, Rolly, why would you do something like this? Moving a corpse is a criminal offense, isn't it? Wishing the victim dead should be one too. Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London Town. I can't say, sir. What? I really am ever so sorry about all this. For damaging the Yard's reputation, for everything. You're good. Removed a toenail, so being a total snail today. Oh no! Oh, did it come off, like, just get ripped off, or did you have it removed surgically or something? Like, oh damn. I can feel it in my feet already. Ah. Oh, yuck. I've had that where one got bent back and just pulled right off. It was not nice. Ah, not nice at all. I think everyone just felt the pain. Yeah, I got that weird tingly pins and needles feeling just go all the way down my legs then when you said that. Ew. I have a possible explanation for why on that particular evening Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason. What? How could you possibly know? You're a foreigner, presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman. And yet, Lord Van Zykes, it is this foreigner who has uncovered the startling truth of the matter thus far. Ah, take that, bitch. I mean, it would be beneficial for the court to hear this extraordinary young lawyer's theory. Counsel for the defense, if you please. Yes, my lord. Now then, I think you had better show us some evidence. At once, my lord. England, Japan, it makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are all the same. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions. What gives away the motive for Constable Beat's unthinkable actions? It can either be the case file, where it was found on his beat, but that's saying that the body was found outside his beat, or it's the warrant card that says that any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. And he didn't want it in his jurisdiction, he wanted it in someone else's so it can be done. And when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigation and help the detectives. He's tired. He didn't want to do it. He had to get it removed by a doctor. Oh, right, okay, well, that's not as bad then. It had been damaged a few months ago, but got stepped on last week and started to get infected. Oh, okay, I feel it again. Ugh, the tingling. Ugh. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a good thing, though. You've got it sorted, so that'll avoid it. Like, you know, gangrene and amputations and stuff. Generally a good idea. Well, put your feet up, get some ice cream, something like that. You know, just enjoy the rest of your evening. Finish the full course of drugs. Yes, definitely. Just take everything they give you and do the whole thing. The whole lot. You know, they give you that much for a reason. Definitely. Alright, so I think it's this.
Take that!
I realise that I'm a foreigner in this land and I've only just arrived from Japan, which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learnt that, though honourable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example. Keeping the peace, looking after citizens on this beat in all kinds of ways, there's no doubt that the young bobby is charged with a great deal to do each day, certainly. But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special. Special? How? On account of the bouquet, my lord. Oh yes, it was our very first wedding anniversary. Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford a simple gift for his wife, and it was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal. And when he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime along Briar Road, when he saw the shadowy figure through the fog collapse on the pavement ahead of them, what must have gone through the young man's mind? You're very happy you had Ben and Jerry's for dinner. Nice. Good stuff. But sir, just that one particular day, sir, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beat puts up with a lot with being married to a bobby like me. I wanted to show her, my dear wife, how much I care. This is the warrant card Constable Beat offered to lend me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help the detectives. Aha! Constable Beat. Is that or is that not the reason you moved the whole scene of the crime that day? Yes. Everything you said, it's all right. So that's it. It was all to do with the boundary of your beat. Oh. Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat. Good gracious. Constable, you realize the gravity of what you've done? You'll be thrown out of the yard for this. It was the first time since I became a copper that I'd ever cursed God. Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could be lurking somewhere. As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer. But we've got to report this to the station as quickly as possible. But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were, and where the victim was laying, and what that meant for me. When a crime is discovered in his beat, a policeman must insist with initial investigations and help the detectives. Why here? Why did it have to happen here? And why tonight of all nights? I wanted to get laid, damn it! I mean, why? Sorry, I have to chuckle at how you say beat, as it's a girl's name in Norway and pronounced completely different. Oh, wow. Nice. It's a copper's job to guard the scene of the crime, so I told Pat she'd have to go to the nearest police box and fetch whoever was on duty there. It was then when I opened my mouth to speak, it just came out. I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my mouth. This is the next beat to mine, Pat, so you'll have to go to the police box that covers it. Turn right along Meerschaum Street and then blah 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 blah. Who's been a bad boy then? You've been a bad boy. That's right. Oh wait, this is getting weird. Let's stop. Oh, don't weep, mate. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh no, she's getting the wibbly eyes as well. Oh, Constable. Everybody's getting wibbly eyes. I just wanted that one night to take my Patricia out for dinner. Oh, Rolly. Just that one night. It's Mr. Handsome Vampire Guy, yes. We've got Van Zykes again. You knew that if the incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined. And so you decided to move the entire crime scene outside your jurisdiction, just across the street to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighbouring beat's care. You see, I thought, well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see. I beg your pardon? Oh, of course he did. Otherwise, my Rolly would never have left the poor woman in the freezing cold pavement. Didn't even check the body. Ah, I see your meaning now. But God got me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why. That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat. Oh no, Rolly, that was all my fault. I should never have dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rolly. Cops don't get to pronounce. Well, no, but I mean, if you find somebody in the street, surely you check a pulse first. I mean, anybody can do that and be like, this person's still alive, you know. It's like, but I mean, I guess back in those days as well, they probably didn't have any kind of even just inkling of medical knowledge, so, you know. And you can tell us, Constable. How many books did you move from one side of the road to the other in total? Oh, please tell me just the one. Oh, 4, damn. 4 it was. Yes, sir. Definitely 4. Yeah, 3 of them dropped by Mr. Natsume, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Garideb household, of course. But what made you place the book in the victim's hand? When all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean. Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. There we go. My theory's still looking good. How you found it? What do you mean? When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So, when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. You're sure it was this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding? Oh yes, sir. No doubt about it, sir. Interesting. Alright, so that's updated the info. That's the point. They have to work it, or EMS comes in to pronounce. So we go to obvious deaths for all the time. The PTs are class 4 for us. I don't know what any of that means. And then calls to the coroner follow. Yeah, I mean, obviously procedures are going to be different than this is just a game anyway, so I'm just surprised that the guy didn't just check to see if she might have been breathing or was alive or awake or anything, and he was just, oh, I thought she was dead. You know, it's like, yeah, but did you check? You know, that's all I'm saying. It just seems really weird to me. I thought it was an open and shut case at the time, you see. There were only the two people at the scene, and Pat and me both saw it happen. However, which way you look at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who'd done it, I thought. Just saying, aside from the cops' failed actions, it was kind of close. Okay, fair enough. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jot of difference. I suppose this is for me now. I've had it. My lord. Yes, Lord Van Zykes. I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witness. Let me guess again, and it still doesn't change anything. Constable, you may withdraw. Yes, sir. Mr. Prosecutor, sir, what will become of my Rolly? What will happen to him? Thrown in the Thames. But now you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course. Please don't punish my husband. This was all my fault. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late. Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired. All right then, my love. One last thing, Constable. Sir. Let this be a lesson to you. It is in a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you. Yes, sir. Carve that lesson into your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime. Never again, sir? You mean to say... Oh. Leave now. This trial is not over yet. Sir! Oh. And they do say that on that day, Lord Van Zykes' heart grew 3 sizes. Well, quite a startling revelation, I must say. Whoever thought of a third party transplanting the entire scene of a crime like that? Indeed, my lord, nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here. Principally, that the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is the only person who could have possibly committed the crime. Get the fuck out of here, Bob! Yeah. No, I disagree. Now we know the true scene of the incident, there is something else. Another person who could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back. Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of this possibility already. Lord Van Zykes, is this true? He's like, well, yeah, but I wasn't going to say it. God, I'm not going to do the defense's job for them. Very well. Name the person if you will, and if further investigation is warranted, then the prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing. Name the other person who could have perpetrated the crime. Yo, what's up, Joan? Get your ass on the stand, girl. The defense would once again like to request the cross-examination of a new witness, my lord. Once again? My assistant made the same request earlier, In order to finally reveal the truth about the case, it is imperative we cross-examine juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garadeb. Me? Me? Oh dearie me. Oh no. Oh, but why? That request has already been denied. Yeah, but now we know more. But the situation is very different now. Mrs. Garadeb, answer me this. What do you want now, you little toad? Rabbit. At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garadeb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited, and to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looks out over Briar Road. Well, what of it? You threw the book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the top-hinged casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the incident. Yes, and as I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garadeb. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back. Have you really never laid eyes on it before? Oh. I don't recall it. Seriously. Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? Anyway, the man over there in all the regalia said members of the jury needn't testify, didn't he? Conveniently, yes. So again, if this were the real world, I would call for a mistrial. No, I have no recollection of saying that at all, juror number 4. I didn't either. I just thought he didn't say that. He just denied that it was relevant because the whole window thing and the fact that nothing could have been thrown across the road. And now we know that the crime happened there. It's changed things. So get right, Joan! Make no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You're not immune to the judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madam, let the truth come out. But it's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know? What's that? Are you joking? What are you saying, please, Mrs. Garadeb? Now you listen to me. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I'd injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it. Oh, the poor woman. So yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife, if that's what you think. Come along now, chop chop. Do your worst. Well, the knife is chipped. So I think, the tip of the blade could have broken off when she threw it. And it hit the actual frame, chipped off, and then fell down. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? If I had evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her already. Quite, metaphorically, of course. Then take the stand, juror. Oh! The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman. Thank you, Lord Van Zykes. I'm going to have to testify? Juror number 4, as I'm sure you will appreciate, having observed it with your own eyes today, witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed, whatever. Truth of which the witnesses themselves may not even have been aware. Oh dearie me. So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Garadeb. Mark my words. In this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels? Certainly, my lord. Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, my lord. Jesus, Ryu, try not to look so much like a fucking rabbit in the headlights all the time. Honestly, dude. Dude's like, oh, what? Yeah. This is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. I feel like a lawyer now. I'm here in the Old Bailey and I'm a lawyer. Damn it. I did it, Ma! Look at me, I'm lawyering! Oh, she's brought the teapot. Witness, state your name and occupation. Oh, yes. My name is Joan Garadeb. And I'm, well... I'm a juror, and such like. You're a maid. Go ahead and say it. Even though you're really not. But okay. It sounds like she doesn't even know if she's a housewife or a maid or what anymore. The court has decided your testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case. Do you understand, madam? Yes, my lord. You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on the evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth. Oh, dearie me. Oh, God, the jiggling. Oh, my God, the jiggling. Chin up, Joni. Nothing to worry about. Oh, he's here. Oh, I've got your back, sweetheart. Oh, I didn't know you were here, John. And the slap marks healed as well, look. Wasn't only in the room. Wasn't only you in the room that day, was it? Rather think I ought to testify as well, don't you? But what about your knee, dear? Don't you worry about that. Hardly noticed it. I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face a disciplinary action alone. Oh, John. Oh. I presume you are Mr. John Garadeb? Yes, sir. Former second lieutenant to the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers, sir. Seen my fair share of action now, living the quiet life, as it were. The quiet life? Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse only on the day in question? Well, yes, quite. I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British court. Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recount clearly and concisely events in your home at the time of the incident in question. Sir, at once. The Battle of Garadeb. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. Dude, you had a love note in a book. Knocked a candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out, though, and got the window open. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could to find and throw at him. Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I'd note if one or two went missing, I'm afraid. That bally thing in the victim's back really was one of ours. You'll have a job proving it, I think. Well, it is distinctive. It's got a bit of the tip missing. Sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening. Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy caught us in the hop, sir. Had no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy hadn't kept shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Of course, a veteran such as myself is only too aware that on the battlefield you're just a gnat's whisker from death at any moment. Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here? Oh yeah, dude, love is a battlefield. Have you not heard the song? Well, I must say I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of the jackknife. In combat one's focus narrows such that surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified to already. This may be a dead end. Van Zykes may well be right. Well, whatever the chances, we only have this one last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm afraid so. Alright, very well then, counsel. Begin your cross-examination. So they had a bit of a skirmish. Tell me more. Give me all the salacious details. The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe. That's right. If I remember correctly, It all started because of a note that was tucked into the passages of a book belonging to Mr. Garadeb. A rather passionate note, in fact. But Mrs. Garadeb found the note discovering the husband's little secret, and she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too. What a sordid state of affairs. Hell on earth. I say, when a chap says he can't recall such things, it's common decency not to drag it up. Look, dude, I'm trying to be discreet. Of course I fucking remember. Oh my god. Thanks. And besides, half of it was wide of the mark anyway. Alright, here we go. She's gonna just toss the tea at him. No? Okay. A likely story. Oh, these waters run very deep, and the currents are strong. What transpired next after these multiple blows to the face? Knocked the candlestick over, set fire to the carpet, got the window open. And the fire also spread to some items of furniture, didn't it? The bookcase, my armchair, anything of mine, really. Just so happens there was some bathwater around that evening, so I sloshed that about to put it out. Most precarious situation you put yourself in. Ours is a 3-story townhouse on the west side of the street where the water main isn't connected yet. Have to draw water from a public pump during the day if you need any, you see. The lodgers are always moaning that they can't get any water at night, although that little moustache Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe. Oh, the defendant Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, he receives a stipend for his studies, you know, from his home country. Can you imagine? Being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours. He's obviously very well off. Have you actually seen the state of the man? I believe he uses all of his income to buy books. That's interesting. What is he buying? Well, anyway, the point is I was able to douse the fire with water, fortunately enough. Meanwhile, picking up anything she could to throw at him. Oh, fuck. Hang on, it skipped right past. There we go. I think my controller's on the fritz as well, guys, because I'm playing this with the controller. I was talking about this, I think, yesterday on stream as well, that this controller, like, now when I push a button, sometimes it pushes it again, like, rapidly, immediately afterwards, like, on the lift off, and then sometimes it does 2 or 3 more after I've let go of the button. It's very weird. But it's very old. I've had this... God, I don't know how long I've had this controller. A long freaking time. Alright, so even though the room was on fire, as far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That is most certainly not true of a Susato takedown, Mr. Naruhodo. How did she know I was thinking that? So please cast your minds back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall. But I feel I must point out that I'm no monster. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, ooh, a sponge, a napkin. Yeah, he's got something to say about this. We'll come back to this, though. Let's do all the text. It was really only soft items I was throwing. And I wasn't really mostly restrained. The majority of them barely hit John. Barely. He is my husband, after all. I see, Mrs. Garadeb, your thoughtfulness and consideration for your spouse is apparent. And what about you, Mr. Garadeb? Do you remember what your wife threw at you? Well, I recall The Lion's Pride, of course. Jolly good book, only just purchased it too. And a jolly good book for burning, it seems. But it was a dashed awful scene on the battlefield, I can tell you. Flames everywhere, smoke billowing, couldn't see a bally thing, really. I dare say I wouldn't have even noticed a knife bouncing off the old bonds. I don't think they tend to bounce. Yeah, more like stab. Plenty of knives around the place. Okay. Sorry, would you care to elaborate? Nothing to say, really. Rather partial to a spot of carving, you see? Pipes and whatnot, fishing tackle. You know the sort of thing. You carve fishing tackle. Is that a thing people do? Like they carve things into their fishing rods? I mean, bear in mind, these would have been old wooden rods in the day, but still. It's a passion we both like to share. I like to carve little wooden trinkets too. And then there's my leather work. Oh, really? Sorry to say, we're always losing knives about the place. We have dozens of the thing. They sell them at the market sometimes, 20 for the price of 19. Oh, damn, that's a bargain. Yeah, needless to say, I snap them up. John prefers to use 2 knives at meal times too, instead of a knife and fork. Fucking that's strange, dude. Now then, John. Here we go again with the scoldings. Why are they being so evasive? I imagine it's they don't want to believe it. They can't bear the thought that it might have been one of their knives that's injured the victim. Which is entirely understandable, of course, but still. Go on with your testimony, witness. Sir. Alright, so we'd have a job proving it. Let's press this one. So you have no intention of admitting it was your knife unless we can produce proof? Even though there's no other credible possibility of Mr. Natsumiya's innocent. You forget, my Nipponese friend, that it is yet to be established that the accused is not responsible for the attack. As if I could forget. That's why we're still here. We'd be home by now. If we'd be having fish and chips. If we'd already established that. If only there was some way to know who had handled the knife. Like, you know, if we could... yeah. If we could find out if there is a unique way of telling what people's hands do to things when they touch them. Oh well. There's some kind of wizardry, it's just a dream. Perhaps you're thinking of fingerprinting, Mr. Naruhodo. What? You mean it's not a dream? That sort of wizardry exists? Whenever people touch anything, they leave behind a unique pattern from their skin, or so they say. But I can't see anything. There are already countries in the world where these so-called fingerprints can be used as evidence. Lord Strongheart is currently discussing the matter at the Ministry of Justice. So this isn't one of them yet. Yes, I believe we're rapidly approaching the era of scientific methods of investigation. But for now, we shall have to find an alternative method for proving our assertion. This knife found in the victim's back was originally Mr. and Mrs. Garadev's house. Oh, if only I could transplant the whole incident to several years in the future. Can we just hold this trial for a while, please, Your Honor? You know, just a few years, so those laws come through that could help us, yeah. That's the extent of the testimony. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? I think we've heard all this before, to be honest. I can't say I'm particularly confident we'll be able to prove anything new from this testimony, but in this cross-examination it's absolutely essential that we establish how the knife came to be at the scene of the incident. Yes, I know. I'm sure both of them must be feeling very worried. Worried that it was in fact a knife belonging to one of them that caused the victim's injury. If we could find a tiny shred of evidence to support the theory, it would clinch this trial for us, would explain everything. Yes, it would. So for Saseki-san's sake, we must find the last crucial piece of evidence. Alright, so let's go back to the one that he choked on a bit. Pretty sure it was her testimony, yep. It's when she was talking about only throwing soft things. So she doesn't remember if a knife was among them.
By Jupiter!
Here we go. Pursue.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Do you have something to add, sir? Mr. Garadeb? Oh, don't shoot! Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Did your wife's remarks now just bring something to mind? Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction was something more solid than she implies. Books, bricks, The fire poker, I seem to recall. Wow. And the woman's aim is uncanny. She landed a direct hit with every volley. Good grief, woman, we're not at home now. This is a court of law. Oh, dearie me, ever so sorry, dear. What's she even doing with a teapot here, and how? It's bottomless. Again, this is a British thing. We have bottomless fish and chips, and now we've seen a bottomless teapot. Honestly, John, I would never have thrown such things at you, obviously. Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose this happened? I wondered about the pipe being broken. Your pipe, sir? I had this thing in my hands as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles she did, yes. That'll be the knife. When I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. I'd like to see a sponge do that sort of damage. I see, your pipe was broken. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I've managed to bandage the thing up for now. Oh, you're one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear? I wonder what we should make of this on his account. It could be important. Defense believes Mr. Garrideb's remarks just now to be of great significance.
Objection!
The war veteran's words tell us only one thing. Betray a fiery wife, and the pipes, as well as hearts, may be broken. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony. Indeed, common sense, one might say. Might one? In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Well, I don't see why not. Oh dearie me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with the young lady. Whoa. Very well, the court accepts the gentleman's pipe as evidence. I swear to God, if we find the tip of the knife lodged in the side of the pipe, hell yes. Hope I didn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruhodo. I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down. Oh no, it's fine. Thanks to Susato-san, we have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully. Well, thank you for that rebuttal, Mr. Garrideb. Now, if we could return to the crux of the matter, what can you tell the court about the knife used to attack the victim? Alright. Let's have a look at this, this pipe. Oh, look at it there. Look, there's a notch on the side. There's a small nick out of the bowl here. Look, it appears to have been made relatively recently. See how there are little scrapes and dents over it? It's clearly a well-loved pipe. You're right. It seems to me recently that being well-loved goes hand in hand with getting battle scars. This particular nick is catching my eye, though, because it's clearly new. Seriously? The tip of the knife is still in there? Let's have a look at the bandage first. Looks to be in a sorry state with that bandage around it, doesn't it? But for some reason it feels slightly ominous to me, like he's trying to shout out a warning. Probably because it's the same blue as Mr. Garrideb's dressing gown. I suppose it must have considerable sentimental value to Mr. Garrideb, given that he's gone to the trouble of repairing it like this. It's his wartime pipe. Either that or he can't afford to replace it. Yeah, this was the pipe it got him through the Crimean War, this pipe did. Or whichever war he was in. Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe there. Twinkled? It's a fucking huge honking chunk of metal. Look at that. How has he not noticed this while he's stuffing tobacco into it? Yes, I saw it. Something's stuck in there, I think. I mean, maybe it's just stuck and he can't get it out. But we're going to just turn it over and give it a shake. What's this? A tiny fragment of metal that just fell out quite easily. Looks like the tip of a blade or something. Tip of a blade? Surely that couldn't be. Yeah, it is. Alright. Fantastic. So, we're going to have a job proving it. Well, prepare to have your mind fucking blown. You know what, maybe I need to actually examine this first again. So look, there's the tip missing. Okay. Just at the tip, a small piece of the blade appears to be missing. Wait, part of it's missing? I could be wrong, but I've just got a feeling. You remember this? That's the tiny fragment of metal we found inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe. Yes. And just maybe... Oh my, it's a perfect fit. Somehow I just knew it. Hey. There we go. So that's updated the evidence about it. Yes. And let's just examine this as well. Make sure we've got all the info. A tiny piece of metal we found in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe. And what a stroke of luck, it's a perfect fit with the broken tip of the jackknife. It's extraordinary, isn't it? It fills me with a sense of awe. It's surely proof that miracles can really happen. Yes, the more miraculous proof I couldn't ask for. Alright.
Objection!
There we go. Mr. Garrideb, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please? You can ask, but I can't say the belly thing. You can't. I used to call me Dead-Eyed Deb back in the regiment, of course, but that was some time ago now. Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days, I struggle to tell a B from a D and a P from a Q, to be honest. Oh, he does, dearie me. It's rather wearing being asked about every other letter in every other word. You must be very dusty. Yeah. What is that? A tiny scrap of metal? Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence. Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence? It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe. My pipe, you say? By Jove. I wonder how it got there. And what precisely does the fragment of metal signify, Counsel? Are you suggesting it's in some way related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road? Oh my god. I am. What? When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord. When we just got that rear view of this guy, then did you see the suspicious long brown stains down the back of his bloody bathrobe? Dude, ew. You appear rather confident that that extraordinary statement, Counsel. Very well. Present the pertinent evidence to the court. What evidence, when paired with this fragment of metal, allegedly reveals the truth of this entire case?
Take that!
Boom! This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see there is a small piece of the tip of the blade that is missing. A common issue with inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in their victims' bones. And what of this particular knife? No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim. No, that's not the case. The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe. Ah! Good grief. Lord Van Zyte, I don't believe it. The knife from the crime scene and this fragment of metal are a perfect match. Good golly gosh! Look at it, oh, the brownness! I think that's burns, though. I'm pretty sure that's fire burns, because there's a gap there as well where his arse is. There's, like, you can see his pyjama bottoms. It's like it's been burned away. Order, order! Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Burns. They're burn marks. We'll allow the man his dignity, okay? He's getting on in years. This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle. A miracle? And it ain't even Christmas. So, Van Zyx has figured it out, has he? Counsel, explain the extraordinary coincidence at once. Yes, my lord, the crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe? Something that was clarified for us in the most recent witness testimony. I had this thing in my hand as usual, the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did, yes. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh god, the jiggles! The jiggles! Oh dearie me. During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Garrideb flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garrideb instead, striking the pipe in his hand at the time, which caused the tip of the blade to break off, of course. Good lord. Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe. And the chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1. And yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out the open window. In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Garrideb house, is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. Oh gosh, oh dear, oh no! I've just realised as well, she stood on a box. Nice. Oh, he's got his wine back. He went to the wine cellar in the meantime while we were running that down. A full-bodied theory, I'll give you that. Yeah, that's Burns. It is. A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponese approach to his bottling his argument. Sorry? But after all, it is just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. Because you see... Oh, hey, the leg's up now. It's spoilt by an insurmountable inconsistency. Insurmountable. What? Lord Van Zykes, explain yourself. What is this inconsistency you claim to have identified? An inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with a knife planted in the middle of her back. Yes, in her... Oh. If she was standing up, how could the knife have... Oh, damn! And it just healed! That's right, you silly little man. Now, Joan, old thing, what are you getting so excited about? Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife struck her had fallen from above, it would have hit her in the head. There's no possible way it could have planted itself in the victim's back. She was bending over to pick up the book. See, we already figured that one out a long time ago, and it's taken us all this little while to get here. Order! Quite right, you see, that's exactly right. If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck her on the top of her head. Well, he's lost for words, look. I knew it. I never liked the theory in the first place. I don't know, though, what really did happen? It would appear the defense has made a rather spectacular blunder. If a theory has even one inconsistency, it cannot stand. In theory, your theory, my learned friend, is history. We were so close, I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track, but now the way has been blocked by completely, just by one simple inconsistency. I mean, she's probably in a coma from blunt trauma, perhaps a blunt object. Well, I don't know, maybe, yeah. But it could just be the shock of being stabbed as well that she's unconscious from. I just think the reason she had the book in her hand was she must have picked it up. And if that's the case, she bent over to pick it up and then the knife hit her in the back. And then she just went straight down. Which is when Rolly saw it. When she was going over, she was picking the book up and then thunk, knife in the back. That's what I'm thinking, anyway. Or in other words, we simply need to eliminate the one inconsistency and the theory will stand. Mr. Sato, look at you being so optimistic. You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. We're just getting caught off guard, that's all, and your mind went blank. But if the path you're on is indeed correct, then the way will present itself. The key to this is in the court record, I'm sure. All the information you need is there. It seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend. Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tacit acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed.
Objection!
No. Just objected like that. This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deep for the truth. It's a test, and I will pass it. Yes. If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way it could have hit her in the middle of the back. Under normal circumstances, that is. What are you implying? Counsel? There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency. Yeah, what are they talking about here? This explains it. The fact that she was holding the book means she bent over to pick it up. That's like the only thing I can think that he's leaning towards, so we're gonna go with that. And it can explain how the knife fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer. Goodness. Utter madness. Complete hogwash. Surely this must be the last time. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak. We've gone all round the garden path. Let's get to it now. This is the last inconsistency and the final piece of the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. The evidence that explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back is this picture.
Take that!
Yes! This, the fourth book found at the scene. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present. I didn't present the burnt book, but okay. The burnt book? He wants to go the long way around to explain this. Is that not Mr. Garadeb's book? Yes, and to understand its significance we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. The photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand. But as we now know, it was the police constable that put the book between her fingers like that. Yes, but he said it was originally that way to begin with. Quite so, as part of his wholesale transplanting of the crime scene to the opposite side of the road. That's true, however, as part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place the book in the victim's hand? Oh well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So, when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. In other words, the victim had already picked up the book of her own volition. And clearly that must have been before she suffered the knife wound. Oh, well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd have been doing much of anything. So the question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hand? By jingo! I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now. Oh, dearie me. We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Garadeb house onto the pavement below, at precisely that moment that the victim was walking past. Exactly at that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in the light fog when all of a sudden a book fell in front of her. The book I threw. Yes, Mrs. Garadeb. What do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement? Well, I really can't imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down? There we go. And picked the book up. Yes, that's exactly what the woman in fact did. She picked up the book. Oh heavens! And when the woman reached down and picked the fallen book up, what position would her back have been in? That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over picking up the book, thunk! The next object fell from the room above, the jackknife straight into the middle of her back. At that same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green, was the defendant, Mr. Sosei Natsume. Well, I never. It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed on the floor in the dark and the fog. He didn't see the knife falling on her from above. Ah! And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw not one, but the victim and her apparent attacker. So there never was a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place. No, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind the case. Oh, god damn! I was kinda right at the start of the stream. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. The very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that. There, old bean. Poor Mrs. Garadeb. Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? Manslaughter or probably negligent homicide, unsure. I mean, well, she's still alive for now, the victim, but, I mean, if she dies, yeah, something along those lines. I mean, I don't know what they would have had in the day like that kind of plea, but it wouldn't be murder. It's like, you know, like you said, negligent homicide is probably close to the point. Yeah. I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book, and I threw the knife as well. The victim's alive. Yeah, the victim's alive, but unconscious. So they haven't been able to testify as to what actually happened, but yeah, for murder, that's a premeditation, for sure. I think, like, manslaughter is through some kind of direct action, but not intended to, like, cause death. Something like that. There's various legal terms, isn't there? I think manslaughter is something like your direct actions have caused the death of someone unintentionally, and then there's negligence homicide, which is like something you did that was negligent that caused somebody else's death. So you intended to be negligent. I think there's intent to be negligent. So that would be like an industrial accident by, you know, and the boss basically didn't pass all the safety checks on the equipment and things like that, you know. So they would then be tried for negligent homicide. But there's definitely some kind of other layer where this would be like, well, if she'd have died, it would have been called death through misadventure, maybe. I don't know, because that implies that no one else is involved. That's like swimming, you know, and getting caught in a current and drowning. So, yeah. So maybe manslaughter, I don't know. Crime of killing a human being without malice or thought, or otherwise in circumstances not amounting to murder. Yeah, so that last bit might qualify for this. Yeah, it would be manslaughter. Oh no! All the fucking frames are dropping again as well. Stay strong, stream! Wow. We just dropped like 8,000 frames. Just gone. In the last minute or so. Holy shit. And they're still going. Bugger, and we're so close to the end. I don't want to have to save it at this. most terms are the same, but we probably have slight differences between countries. Yeah, that's true as well. Like here in England, we would have various different terminologies. Man, those frame drops. Let's just give it a minute. Let's see if they stop again. That was a huge one. Yeah. I think they're holding. Let's carry on. I think the frames are holding. It's alright. I know. Yeah, we would drop it. Oh god, them. Oh no, they're still going. Oh no, they're still going. Bugger. Oh man, I really hate this internet connection that I'm on right now. Oh. Let's try and stick with it, because we're so close to the end of this case. It would be stupid to start the next stream of this game. Yeah. Involuntary manslaughter. Yeah, that might be one of them. It's been a long time since I went through any of this kind of stuff, so I don't really know what it's called anymore, but yeah, that sounds very familiar. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's try and power through. I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh god. Oh. No. Hold. Hold the knee. Oh no. Poor guy. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty much almost done with the stream, so let's get to the end of this case and to the start of the next one, and then we'll leave it at that for the day. Lord Van Zeiss, what news of Mrs. Garrideb? She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events had left an especially flustered state. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There is no cause for concern. Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what could have easily been a terrible tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions. There is some good news, however, my lord. I have just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. Her condition is improving steadily and the doctors believe she will regain consciousness soon. Excellent. It's strange, we've been talking about the victim all this time. We never once met her. How wonderful, the woman is out of danger, it seems. Yes, that's good news. So, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Oh no. God, we haven't laid eyes on this guy in a while. Yes. On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from your distant eastern homeland to study in our great British culture, and have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies. No. No, it's me who should be begging your pardon. Oh no, Mr. Natsume. That evening, when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion. What conclusion, sir? I was sure that the woman was dead. Yes, Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she'd been killed too. I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless. It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me. Dude needs to go home. Poor Sasaki-san, his imagination really has got the better of him. And his flair for the dramatic. Yes, poor man. So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped my books like that and run away. I should have called for help or a doctor, or for the police! Instead, I've managed to create a rift in the relationship between our two empires, and for that, I am truly sorry. One could indeed say there's some sort of mischievous spirits have been at work here, I think. One that created a chain of unfortunate mishaps. We would be fooled by the spirit that led us to false conclusions, but thanks to Lord Van Zykes and our young lawyer here from the east, that chain has been broken and the spirits exorcised. Exorcise the demons! I heartily commend you both. Oh! Zykes is like, it's cool. Don't mind me. Yeah. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, my lord. In conclusion of this trial, I must ask you one last time for your decision regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings in court? As the foreman of the jury, I can assure you we've reached a fair and just conclusion. I do declare the truth can be extremely cruel at times. Well, I didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure. He's there now as her. Well, I'm here, I'm holding down the fort. Sitting in for the old beam while she's out of action, but I know what her decision would be. Does this mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work? Well, it's about time. I say I have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I? Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby demand your final decision. Mr. Foreman.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Oh, not guilty.
Not guilty.
Oh, nice, thanks.
Not guilty.
All right.
Not guilty.
Cool.
Not guilty.
Hey? I don't know who the voice actors are that they got to do those lines, but they're getting that last guy all wrong. He talks like this, He's an old bloke who talks a bit like this, you see. Very well then, Mr. Soseki Natsume, I hereby pronounce you not guilty. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Release the confetti and the fireworks, because of course. And finally, Mr. Natsume. Oh, yes, Lord Sir. You are now a free man once more. It is my hope you will continue to further your education in British culture, and may you never again be brought before me. Never darken my courtroom again, you nuisance, you. Oh, yes, sir. Of course. On my life, I swear, I will never set foot in a courtroom again. I'm transported to tears. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned. Now, how is this poor fellow going to die? Because that'll happen, you watch. He's going to die next. It was McGilded last time, it'll be this guy next, because that's apparently Lord Van Zykes' curse. Oh, Locum. Wait, you mean me? Of course! Is there another Locum here? Is there even one? My name is Ryu, not Locum. Compared to the original Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it? What's wrong with using my actual name? Oh, at last. I'm free! I'm free! Joyful, joyous, jubilant, jubilation! Heady, hearty happiness, hurrah! Oh, I'm so pleased. Mr. Natsume is delighted. Would it be so hard to just say that then? Couldn't you just say thanks? Locum, you did it! You saved me from the brink. Well, what happened to the poor woman was in no way your fault after all. I'm just glad everyone can see that now. No, 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 not that! Lovely, loyal, Locum lawyer. Yes? I mean, as I said before, I haven't just gotten used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. Technically, you're the foreigner, but that's okay. We like you. I see towering brick buildings, and from up high windows I see them looking down on me, laughing. Look at that little hunchback. Oh dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Natsume. But today, you Locum lawyer gave my gloom the boot. You stood firm behind the baronial bench before all those babbling British. You battled to the bitter end, laying bare the baffling truth. And when I beheld the blinding fireworks among the beams of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed, "Behold the beast barrister ever born!" Oh, the best barrister, sorry, beast. The beast barrister. Damn. Sounds like a comic book series. Beast barrister! Well, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you. This has given me a wonderful anecdote to recount to my old friends back in Japan. Ah, an anecdote. As that's what's to become of my hard work. Just, you know, something to have conversation with while, you know, the spirits are being poured after dinner. You know, so a little bit of light sake conversation. Ah, there you are, my dear fellows. Apologies for keeping you waiting. I rose late this morning. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, what a pleasure to see you. Thanks for showing up late and not helping. I see I'm here not a moment too soon. A disaster has been averted, I'm glad to say. Oh? The trial shall begin presently, Mr. Naruhodo, and I wish you the very best of luck. It just finished. What? No! Then my haste was in vain? Ah! It's you! Hairlock Sholmes. Oh, have we met, sir? This is Mr. Natsume, the man you had arrested, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, I see. I failed to recognize you at first. Our previous encounters had taken place in the gloom, either of your bleak lodgings or in the prison cell. I simply couldn't place that curious face in the light. Charming. This is all your fault, Hairlock Sholmes. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. My apologies, sir, but I assure you, I have placed you now. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, are you not? Ah. Had she been taken to hospital more urgently, I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now. Oh. But it was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human after all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. I do feel very badly about how I behaved. Well, never mind. Now then, what was it you wanted to say to me, sir? So about the anger, yeah. Nothing. Priceless. Oh, I am sorry, really, but that was quite priceless. Poor Soseki-san. Leave the man alone, Holmes, Sholmes, whoever you are. Still, on the bright side, you've had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny. And, it would seem, you are not even found guilty. But there's no bright side. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Natsume? Even after this, I'm still cursed by the spirits, and now by the Reaper! Ah, Lord Van Zykes. I haven't forgotten, you know, what facing that man in court means. Even if you're not found guilty, you're still doomed! It will be alright, Mr. Natsume. Just chill. If the Reaper appears trying to make some trouble, I will protect you. Hey-ya! No! Damn! Why? With a perfectly executed Susato takedown. Much as I like being turned on my head, it's a bit of warning would be nice next time, Mr. Sato. So, Mr. Natsume, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about recounting your experiences to friends back in Japan. Yes, I intend to return to my homeland soon. Oh! It has already been a year since I arrived in Great Britain. I've visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honoured with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here and the city has shaped. And I've come to realise that it's my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it. That's very touching, Mr. Natsume. In other words, I want to get the fuck out of this country, and I'm going to make a polite excuse as to why. Or, in a perhaps less veiled terms, you wish to withdraw halfway around the world, escape the terror of the Reaper's curse. That's not it at all. The more I learn of literature, the more this strange feeling claws at my insides. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own. Oh, I see. A work of literature by Soseki-san could be an interesting read. It's a shame we'll never read it, because you're going to die soon. So... And what about Miss Susato and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry, what about us? Will you return to Japan along your mustached compatriot? Why would we? He's weird. I don't want to go with him. A week has not yet passed since we arrived in London, and only now does it feel as though we've finally found our feet. And you're accommodated in a hotel present, are you not? That's right, but we need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us. I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before our entire budget is exhausted. Well then, you could take my lodgings. Oh no, the windowless room. Oh, along with the landlords who we just incriminated. Nice. Ah, but what it lacks in windows, it more than makes up for with a floor and a ceiling and walls. Great. And of course, I'd be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirits. Oh my, an evil spirit? Oh yes. It tries to suffocate you while you sleep. It's an infallible wake-up call. He's talking about the cat. Well, think about it if that's all right. Perhaps I can offer a more welcoming alternative. Would you consider taking lodgings with me? Really? Well, a vacancy has conveniently presented itself, though it is up in the attic, I might add. Are you sure it isn't just a storage loft? I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of the price, and Iris is cleaning the room as we speak. You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of? Oh, this is simply wonderful. What an honour to be invited to take lodgings in the great detective's office's attic. I'm too overcome for words. So suggesting we look elsewhere is out then. That's it. You're doomed to this, Ryu. Just go with it. Then it's settled. Iris will prepare a welcome dinner this evening. And you must come too, Mr. Natsume, I insist. I don't know what to say, but thank you, and yes. Wonderful. Then I'll go and complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsume. I shan't take long. Somebody's happy. Locum, I knew you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London. Likewise, Mr. Natsume, it's been a privilege meeting you too. It's a shame we're going to have to say goodbye so soon. But let's not get attached to each other, because as I said, you're about to die, so... Well, I've come to realize that I belong in Japan. But Locum, we'll meet again one day. Yeah, yes, I'm sure we will. Oh... And hopefully by then, I'll be a successful lawyer. Hopefully by then I'll be a successful author. Well, my dear fellows, our carriage appears to have arrived. Hopefully by then he'll have a good deduction to make. Shall we go, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, Mr. Sholmes. I have little doubt Mr. Natsume will be released in time for dinner this evening. Well, we're just going to leave Susato here as well. Alright, that's gentlemanly. And so, with Sasaki-san's innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home, 221B Baker Street. Cue the cutscene. Oh, we're here. Alright. Them frames are still falling off the stream. We're nearly done. Let's just see this through. So this is to be our new office, yes. Office? I rather like the sound of that. Me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it? I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step, but I'd like to think that we're getting a little closer to your dream now. Plus whatever the shady thing is you were supposed to do. So, my dear fellows, do you like the place? Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, thank you so much. It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it. Good, I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you. I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. We'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate. Iris, you must let me help you. Alright then, Susie. Since she calls her Susie. You can be in charge of the salad. Splendid. So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel to have your own office in the capital? It's very exciting, actually. I can't help but wonder what adventure awaits us. Those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is. Sorry, what? London is a glorious place, full of wonder and opportunity, prosperity and mirth. But the brightest of lights cast the darkest shadows. Shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you're aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. Well, we know McGilder was a shady-ass customer. So once again, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London. Welcome to London, Governor. Of course, at the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke, but it wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lay beneath it. End. Save the progress. Alright, well, I guess we're not getting a cutscene then, so maybe we can just assume that Soseki survives his whole encounter. Number 5 is the Hound of the Baskervilles. Wow. Okay, and then that seems to be it. I wonder if that's just the last case. Man, I'm not ready for this game to be over yet. It's awesome. But guys, the internet has decided the stream is over as of like nearly 20 minutes ago, so let me close the game. Let's get out of here.